Now, what would you do if you got a ticket for something you didn't even do? Would you pay it or throw your husband under the bus in front of a judge? Well, that's exactly what happened in this case, and the courtroom couldn't stop laughing. But before we dive into the trial, let's talk about the man behind the bench, the legend, late Judge Frank Caprio, a man who has become world famous, not just for his legal rulings, but for the kindness and humor he brings into his courtroom. Millions of people have watched his trials online, where everyday citizens stand before him, often nervous, sometimes frustrated, but always leaving with a story worth remembering. He doesn't just see tickets and fines, he sees real people with real stories. And instead of intimidating them, he often leaves them smiling, sometimes even laughing. That's why so many call him the kindest judge in the world. And today's case is the perfect example. A wife comes in insisting she's innocent because her husband was the one driving. What follows is a mix of honesty, family drama, and comedy gold. Even the judge himself can't resist cracking a joke. So stick around, because this isn't just about a traffic light. It's about fairness, family, and a reminder that even in court, humanity matters. Now let's begin the trial.
Linda Fields in the stands, please.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Linda.
Your Honor, this is my wonderful husband here. I got the ticket whereas he was the one driving my car. I'm not guilty. He is. Let me explain what happened.
The judge laughs and says,
This is interesting. Yes, please, I can't wait.
Linda explains.
So I get the ticket in the mail and I go, "What's this?" He says, "Just pay it." I said, "What happened?" He says, "I'm at the corner of Eddie and Dudley and I turned right on a yellow light." I asked him, "Are you sure you went through a yellow light?" And he says, "Yeah." I said, "Then I'm not paying it. We're going to fight this in the court."
Judge Caprio points at his inspector and jokes.
You have to fight him, not me.
Yeah, so anyway, our son was in the hospital. He had a very bad car accident, and my husband was going there 3 times a day. So I said, "We're going to fight this." So Wednesday, we looked at the video for the first time, and after looking the video, I said to him, "You went through a red light." And so that's where we stand.
So you came here today to tell me he's guilty?
I'm not guilty. Yes, the ticket's in my name, but I'm not guilty.
No, I understand that. You came here today to tell me he's guilty. So the first thing you did was throw him under the bus.
Yes, of course, I'm not throwing myself under.
The judge laughs and says,
So you think he's really guilty, huh?
When I looked at that video, if I was a policeman, I would say he was guilty.
The husband also joins and says,
Yeah, me too.
I mean, it was a little bit close, just a little bit close.
While having this amazing conversation had already convinced the judge to make up his verdict, but still Judge Frank, being a little humorous, wanted to have a little fun and continued.
Okay? I want you to assume that you're a policeman right now. Okay? Yeah. You're wearing Inspector Quinn's badge, okay?
Okay,
And you look at the video, and then you look at the time on the video. Let's see the face sheet, please. See where it says red time? So what does it say?
0.3, it says 0.3.
Do you know what that means? That means he went through the light when it was red for 3/10 of a second.
Oh, 3/10, so it was close.
Well, you just said he's definitely guilty. I tried to explain to you.
3/10 of a second. That's not much.
Linda interrupts the judge, and the judge says,
All right, slow down a bit. Let me finish, please.
Judge asks the husband, laughing.
You go through this every day?
Yes, Your Honor.
Linda smiles to her husband's and the judge's joke and replies.
We've been happily married for 43 years, Your Honor.
Linda looks at her husband and asks,
Am I right, honey?
Yes, dear, that is absolutely right.
The whole crowd watching starts to laugh, and Judge Frank cracks a joke and says,
You know, my wife and I meet people. They usually will say, How long have you been married? And I say, We've been happily married for 5 years. Now my wife is much younger looking than I am. So they say, Oh, you've been happily married for 5 years. Is she your second or third wife? I say, oh no, we've been married 50 years, but we've been happily married for 5. So I will ask you again. You've been happily married for how long?
Almost 43 years, Your Honor.
Judge Caprio takes a big laugh and again continues with Miss Linda, but this time he makes her the judge and continues.
Now I'm gonna make you a judge, okay?
Okay.
Can I call you Linda?
Linda's fine, Your Honor.
All right, Linda, here's the deal. You're the judge. The statute that set up this offense allows 0.2 of a second to get through the light and they don't charge you.
Okay, so missed it by 1, unfortunately.
1/10, actually.
How do you handle this case? It's 0.3 of a second. Do you give him the benefit of the doubt? Or do you say, hey, 0.3, pay the fine? What do you do?
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, and he has to take me to dinner. That's the deal.
Judge Caprio smiles and nods at the husband.
I have to agree with her, Your Honor.
After having this long, healthy conversation, Judge Caprio finally gave his verdict.
It's been my policy of the fact. Without the city coming in and proving the calibration, I think the difference between 0.2 of a second and 0.3 of a second is so small that I usually give the benefit of the doubt. Particularly when they come in with some high-powered defense like you, Linda. The matter is dismissed. Good luck to you both, great partners.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir.
And that's the magic of Judge Frank Caprio. For decades, he showed the world that justice isn't only about punishment, it's about kindness, understanding, and the humanity behind every case. What started as a red light ticket turned into a moment of laughter, love, and a reminder that sometimes justice isn't just about the law, it's about people. For Linda and her husband, the ticket was dismissed. But the dinner date? Well, that's still on the table. Beyond the courtroom, Judge Caprio became a symbol of compassion in a world that often forgets how powerful empathy can be. His words traveled far beyond Providence, touching hearts across the globe, from students learning about fairness to families watching his moments of grace online. He reminded us that behind every fine, every charge, and every rule, there's a story, a human being, and a chance to choose mercy over judgment. His legacy isn't just in the cases he closed, but in the hearts he opened. This trial may be over, but his legacy will live on forever, because people won't just remember the verdicts. They'll remember the compassion, the laughter, and the hope he brought into every courtroom. Judge Frank Caprio will always be remembered. That's it for today, and if you enjoyed this trial and want to see more heartwarming, funny, and unforgettable moments from different courtrooms around the states, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell icon so you never miss a case. Because in this courtroom, justice always comes with a smile.